Okay. Uh, Good morning, everyone. So today again we are here with the lecture, which yesterday we have started, in which we have discussed already the forest types of India, what is forest, and how different remote sensing and GIS tools are being used for the vegetation and forest applications. So we have discussed already many applications like uh, like just a minute. Yes, like identification and estimation of area, which we have discussed yesterday in details. We will little bit revise it and then we will proceed for the next applications. Then we have also discussed the crop nutrient efficiency detections, how different things are helpful in these kind of activities. Then we have also discussed about the soil mapping. The green and red and NIR reflectance could be employed as calculating different indexing like leaf area index, biomass estimation, etc. Then crop condition assessment, whether they are healthy crops, whether they are moderately doing crops, the growth of the different kind of stages of the crop can be identified, so that if there is some problem in the growth activities due to some infections or due to some nutrients, lack of some nutrients, then they can be managed based on different physiological changes that occur in the plant due to different kinds of states, which may be recorded in the form of their spectral reflectance or emittance characteristics. Then phenological studies can also be done. Then the spatial signature library can be evaluated, and then we can go for the different kinds of crop stage and growth stages exploration activities, and then we can go for or plan for different management strategies. Then we can also go for the crop yield modeling, where we can on the one hand we can assess about the yield, what yield we are about to get from the production of a particular crop type, and we can also go for the forecasting how the behavior of these productions can be in the future, so that we can, if there is any lacking of the production, then we can go for different strategic management, so that there cannot be a insecurity of food in terms of the lack of protection activities of a particular crop type. So this is really helpful in maintaining the price of the crops, if there is a lack of a particular crop. So we can in advance we can ask for the import of those activities. Okay. Then we have the next application, that is pest management. Okay, because on the basis of different reflectance values, we can have an idea about the different kinds of infections, where the pest infection is one of the cause due to which there is a loss of different crops. So we can go for those kind of management activities. Then here we have left in yesterday's class, we were just revising what applications we have studied in yesterday's class. Now we'll start with the agriculture drought assessment. Now we can also go for the drought assessment. This is another application of remote sensing scope, or you can say geospatial tools, which can be used for the agriculture drought assessment activities. How we can go for different levels of drought assessment and monitoring using different techniques which are related to maybe NDVI, where we come to know about the density based on the or the health of the the different crops on. So we can go for the change detection also if the production is regularly decreasing and decreasing. So some time will come when the production will be zero for a particular crop, or for different agriculture product in a particular area. This may be cause of some hydrological parameters, that may be some because of some meteorological parameters, or it may be some due to some parameters which are there existing. So we need to observe those parameters for that particular area, and then we can go for different preventive and corrective measures for combating different droughts, like meteorological droughts. If we are talking about that, there are because of lacking of water or moisture content in the area, the drought like conditions are appearing, then we need to take care about the different hydrological parameters in that areas. We have to maintain those kind of things. We have to go for maybe the water potential site zonation mapping, or maybe the water watershed management into those areas. Those kind of activities we need to carry on in that area to manage or combat the drought like conditions. Then we have the temporal data for irrigation studies. Okay, we can also have a studies like irrigation is major plays major role in any kind of activities related to the agriculture or other vegetation related activities. So if we know that, especially like in dry states like Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, or many other states which are having droughts in particular season. Okay, so because of the hydrological or climatic conditions, so based on the multi-temporal data of a year, of different seasons, we can see the pattern of water activities ki in which season we are using the natural sources, in which season we are using the artificial season, or if there is a excessive rainfall, how we can store those waters, which is related to the water harvesting or watershed management related activities can be performed. So different kinds of temporal data can be used for different kinds of irrigation related studies. Then we can also go for reflectance modeling, where the physical reflectance models for crop serve the important purpose of understanding the complex interaction between solar radiation and the plant combination, canopies. So, based on the various reflectance values and their interaction between the solar radiation and plant canopies can be done. So, related studies related to the reflectance values of different crops can be used for different kinds of crop growth models, which we have studied in the previous application, where we were talking about the growth rate or the production of the different crops can be managed. So in order to obtain the reliable yield production, growth of the crops has modeled by the mean of crop growth. So crop growth models describes basically the relation of physiological processes in the plant and the environmental factors such as solar irradiations, temperature, water, and nutrient availability. Okay, so when we are talking about crop growth models, they they can be applied when there is some relation in the physiological process. Okay, and the environment factors like environmental factors like the health of the soil in that particular area, water, humidity, temperature, all these things, along with the species or type or different physiological processes, in collaboration they can uh, have a idea about the growth models of various crops. Then the solution. Okay, so what can be the solution for the improvement of different crops, so that we can directly or indirectly improve the economy of that particular place. So to effectively utilize the information on the crops for the improvement of economy, there is a need to develop a state or district level information system based on the informations of various crops derived both from the conventional and remote sensing approaches in the environment. Okay, so what is a solution? How we can apply all these applications which we have discussed in today's and yesterday's lecture. We have to uh, we have to apply different kinds of conventional techniques in collaboration with the different geospatial technologies, to have an idea about the different crops at different levels, at maybe village level, district level, state level, at as a nation in whole. Okay, for the improvement of the crops, as the our economy is based on the forest and the agriculture. So we need to go for a regular and continuous studies which are based on not only the conventional data which we are having about the particular area about agriculture or different land uses, but we need to collaborate different remote sensing applications, because they go for a synoptic view of a particular area in a single go. So and GIS, it helps in the collaboration of these conventional and remote sensing based data sets in a single platform, where we can correlate all these things and we can utilize it in better manner for improvement of the various economy at various levels, at village level, at state level, at district level, at block level, or the sea level. Okay, so this is the solution. This is means remote sensing, GIS, and the conventional data integration. Now, for showing different applications of remote sensing and GIS, we have taken a case study of an Idukki district of Kerala, where the forest types of Kerala first categorized, and then the classification was done on the basis of rainfall, temperature, humidity, and altitude. Okay, so for forest applications, firstly, the case study which we are taking up there, they have done the classification of forest types in a particular district of Kerala, where the main basis or the main factors which they have taken for the classification of forest was rainfall, humidity, temperature, and altitude. So, according to that case study, the Kerala is having these kind of forest types, where we have these many types of forests. Now, this is the wet evergreen forest, and this is the aerial view of this forest. And there we can also have a studies of the stratification. As in the previous lectures, I have told you that stratification is related to the ages of the tree. Here you can categorize these trees They have given number to each and every tree, and they have classed it into the three different ages, trees. You can see this is a first class, this is a second class, and this is a third class. Then this is a type of semi-evergreen forest which was there in the Kerala, and then this is a type of moist deciduous forest. Okay, after rains, these are the grasslands. This is some shola forest. Now, this is subtropical hill forest, commercially inferior to evergreen forest. They generally found in the heights of 1200 meters to 1900 meters. The height of the stands, it generally occurs in between 15 to 20 meters. Okay, then the major types of forests are, or the products which are there in the forest is cinnamon, Nucleasia, Phoebe, Antiphone, Litesa, etc. Other trees are these. So a transition type between evergreen forest to the mountain shola forest. So all the forest you can see in a single slide in case of this case studies which we have taken up. Then the mangroves, plus minus 50 square kilometer areas, the specialized ecosystem rich in indigenous flora and fauna, and it serves many ecological and biological functions. Okay, then we have swampy, edaphic faces of EFS, flat bottoms, waterlogged valleys as low elevations. The tree is still and breathing roots, abundance of this tree type, mystiquous trees, and then the undergrowths of column and the pandanus. Okay, these ecosystems are endangered ecosystems. Much of the swampy have already been converted into the rice fields, and the remaining patches are largely located in the Kerala. Okay, so this is another forest type, okay, which is related to the swampy forest, and this is the characteristics which I have just narrated, and you can see here in the photographs how it looks like. Then riparian forest also found there. Then edaphic foundations of the dry deciduous forest distributed along the river courses, okay, the river course, and along with that, this riparian type of forest you can find. The stands 30 to 32 meters, and it composed of evergreen and deciduous, both the tree type, forest types. The forest type is very restricted, and abode of the grizzled giant squirrel and Ratufa macora, all these kind of fauna also can be found in this riparian forests. Then the bamboo and the cane brakes. Okay, then bamboo and cane brakes. This is important raw material for cottage industry and pulp. Okay, this is again a type of forest which is found there in which case study we have taken up. Okay, so bamboo barks and cane brakes. So this is the bamboo barks are the raw material for various cottage industry and pulp industry. 25 species under 7 generations, and 2 bamboo species. Okay, then the strictest restricted rain shadow areas are there. Then species of reed bamboos belonging to the genera, and then the brakes have 16 species mostly used for the cane furnitures. Okay, then we have forest plantations uh, around in 1701 square kilometer, which is of around 18.1% of total for geographic areas. The major plant types are tea, eucalyptus, and teak in these forest plantations. These are also there in the Kerala. Then plantation species, teak, abacia, all these types of axia, eucalyptus. Okay, so all these are the plantations which are being done in these areas. Now, if you see the forest color composition or the satellite image, which is having IRS 1D list 3 data of 1998 in this case study. Okay, so here you can see complete Kerala as a satellite image of IRS 1D. Now, this is the different forest divisions. You can see the distribution. The red lines are denoting for different forest divisions of the Kerala. Okay, Kannur, Calicut, Nilambur, okay, north. So these many forest divisions are there in Kerala state. Okay, and the another map you can see the forest types of Kerala: evergreen, semi-evergreen, moisture, deciduous, dry. So we have tried in through this case study the different forest types which the author has taken for the classification. So this is how, if we suppose we want to go for some forest management activities, we have to also perform all these things. Now the extent of forest in this case study. The total geographic area of the state is around 38,863 square kilometer, the geographic area. And out of that, the state is having around 10,336 square kilometer area as a forested area, which is around 26% of the total area of the complete Kerala state. Then the total area of sanctuaries and national park, we have lot many parks and sanctuaries are there, is around 2,324 square kilometer area. Then the forms of 22.49 of the forest area and 5.98 of the geographic area is a state. Okay, so the area, it is having this many classifications of different forest or the land use types. Now the forest diversity, if you talk about the diversity conservation, identification of priority areas for conservation is required, and then the solution bioprocessing of the resources. So how they go for forest biodiversity, where they have to first go for the identification of priority areas which need conservation at the first stage, and then the solutions how we can proceed for these biodiversity activities related to the management of different biodiversities. So remote sensing technology, how this is being used in biodiversity measure at landscape level, as it gives a perspective or a horizontal view. Okay, it gives us a synoptic view and also help in different landscape elements and their spatial characteristics. So what we can do, we can have a synoptic view of the complete Kerala in one go, and we can also go for the identification of different landscape in a satellite image of the state in a one go, where every feature have its own spatial characteristics on the basis of what we can identify that what it is. If you see this sheet, you will find here different patterns, structures, color symbology in this FCC. Okay, so we can see that there is some maroon like color which may be denoted for some vegetation related activities. There are some road networks are there, some water bodies are there, the river, some settlements are there, some waterlogged areas are there. So we have tried to identify different forest types, and the part which you are able to see in the white, this is a non-forest area. So how we are able to do it in one go? Because we are using these remote sensing satellite data sets, which provides us a synoptic view in a single go. Then the impact of fragmentation. What is the impact of fragmentation? Means we have a bigger patch, and with time, the because of the interference of different elements, different habitations, different activities, the forest is being depleted, and slowly it is being uh, you know um, uh, fragmented. Okay, so you see, these are the natural landscapes. Okay, now they are the fragmented ones, they are the lowest fragmented ones. Okay, when we have only two or three patch out of this land, or we have only two or three patch out of this land. So in this case, less fragmentation has been took place. But here, while it is increasing with time, the more fragmentation is being taken up. It may be because of the encroachment of different habitation, different land use classes into the natural landscapes. Okay, that's why we have cases of fragmentation. Then loss of corridor. Obviously, when we have fragmentations due to any land use class, if we have set up a industry just inside this forest, okay, obviously if there is a setup of factory, we need roads to connect it with the other sites where these products will be sent. So we have to come up with the road networks inside those areas. If we obviously, and without manpower, without machineries, it cannot work. If we are trying to put up a, so suppose now this industry has started blooming, so more manpower will come, and obviously they will try to stay nearby itself. So maybe they, if the company is here, they set up a build their society over here. So obviously the encroachment of the habitation is there inside this natural landscape for anything. Or you may have tourism activities various. So nowadays everybody wants a place where they have tracking options, where they have scenic beauties, where they have good amount of wildlife sanctuaries or natural parks. So obviously if tourism is there, small different restaurants, different hotels, they will like to stay back here inside this. And slowly these will the fragmentation, which was only one in maybe 1991, it will be 10 in numbers in 2001, and it will be 20 in numbers in 2020. So this is the impact of fragmentation. If there is one fragmentation, maybe with time it will increase. Okay, then obviously if there will be a fragmentation, so there might be some wildlife sanctuaries, or wild flora and fauna who are inside, who matlab, for whom this is a acting like a shelter for them, and it is also providing them food, shelter, and everything. But if these human activities, due to these human activities, some encroachments are there, or some interferences are there, obviously we are also disturbing the life of the people who are or the habitats or the wildlife who are having their habitats inside these forested areas. And it is also losing the corridors also. It is also impacting the forest edges. They are becoming either smaller, which are earlier broader, or maybe it is being fragmented into different parts. Okay, then the fragmentation map of Kerala. If you see, the different categories are being done in this case study as far as the fragmentation is concerned. So the areas which are in green, they are impacted areas, and then the wherever there is this light green areas, they are indication where these fragmentations are about to happen, or they have started happening. Now this orange color, this is denoting there is a minimum fragmentation, and wherever there is a red color, it is denoting the high fragmentation. The areas in purple color, they are the scrub lands. The area in dark blue color, they are the wetlands. The area in light this thing purple color, they are the orchards. The yellow is the agriculture. So now we have tried to give the fragmentation area along with the land use, first class land use in the Kerala state. Then the biological richness map of the Kerala. If you see, in this case study, they have also tried to do the biological richness map, where it is very low, where it is medium, and where it is high. Okay, then the brown color, it is denoting the settlement inside these areas, agriculture, orchards. So all these categories are that only, but where we have biological richness, these areas are indicated by the red color, and where we have low richness, we have they have tried to. So this kind of calculations can also be done for the complete state with the help of these geospatial technologies. Now if you see, this remote sensing has a valuable has acted like a valuable tool in the forest mapping, any kind of mapping. Why we are telling forest mapping? Because our concern is right now to for the forest mapping and monitoring of different biodiversity, and it also provides us the valuable information to quantify the spatial patterns, what spatial patterns of forest that particular area is having. If you go through the different time series data sets, what is biophysical patterns they are following, what is ecological processes that determine the richness of the species, and the anthropogenic factors which are causing the loss of species richness, and for predicting the response of the global changes. So remote sensing, it is a very valuable tool as far as the mapping is concerned. I told you how, because we have a synoptic view of a complete state in a one go. We have an option, we can clip an area if we want to go for a study of individual forest division. Okay, or we can monitor the biodiversity, and we can also provide the information which is very helpful to quantify the different geological or spatial patterns of the forest in a particular area. What are the different biophysical parameters, what are the ecological processes, and and the anthropogenic reasons due to which the richness of different species is being hampered. Okay, they may be the settlements, they may be the road networkings, they may be the industrialization. So all these kind of things we can do very easily with the help of these geospatial techniques. Okay, and they are also helpful in predicting and analyzing the richness and the different global changes in a particular area. Now if you see the statistics or the status of forest degradation in the Kerala is 45% of evergreen forests are degraded. Okay, 78% of the moist deciduous forests are. This is as per the case study. I have done nothing, I have just trying to show you the different things which people have done it in their studies. Now all these things with more modifications you can also do in your coming dissertations or your uh, uh, you know uh, studies. So my aim is to make you aware that what kind of things people or the scholars are doing as far as the forestry applications of these things are concerned. They are going for species characterization, they are going for biodiversity richness, they are going for carbon sequestration. Okay, so they are going for the forest degradation as per the temporal basis. So a general status. So there is a loss of 45% of evergreen forests, 78% of moist deciduous forests are degraded, 64% of dry deciduous forests are also degraded. So type wise different forest categories have been impacted differently as far as their degradation is concerned. So overall degradation, if you average it, the overall degradation which took place as far as the forest degradation is concerned is around 62%. Then the forest status of peachy region of the Kerala. So is the this is the wildlife sanctuary. You see the drainage assessment they have done. So they may have taken various parameter and they have gone through the different overlay analysis of those layers, and then they have calculated the degradation assessment on the basis of their severity. So the areas which are in red, they are highly degraded, and then these areas in yellow they are moderately. The areas in parrot green color they are moderately dense, highly dense and reservoirs. So you see in the north and the western part, there is a maximum degradation which took place. So for these studies, they have used this three data set, and they have done it with the help of NDVI, that is called as natural normalized differential vegetation index, in which we take into the infrared and red bands into consideration. And then the rapid depletion of forest made it essential to know the rate and the trend of degradation so that the timely measures could be taken to prevent further loss of the forest resources. Okay, so these techniques, they are helpful in the rapid depletion of the forest identification, and based, if we know that which are the areas which are having high and moderately high and no loss as far as the degradation is concerned, so it is easy to go for different kinds of preventive measure for the uh, different forest department, for the different people who are working for the sustainable management of these forests. then timely and accurate information for detecting changes over a period of time required for forest ecosystem, and what kind of plannings can be done on the basis of different time periods, that also can be decided with the help of these kind of things. Then the change detection studies were also done, where in this case studies they have used the Landsat thematic data set of 1973, 75, 83. So different time periods data they have taken, then visual interpretations were done, and the study area was Idukki region of Kerala. The output was in the form of land use, land cover map, continuity in the changes, and the area statistics. So you, with the use of different models, okay, and in this case studies, they have tried to know about the land use, land cover in that particular area, and based on the aerial statistics, they have also gone through the aerial statistics that each land use, land cover class has how much area under a particular class for different years. So if you go through and compare these area calculation year wise, then you will come to know about the land use, land cover change in the study area. Okay, so these are the images which they have used, and these are the change detection in and around the study area. So you see this area, if you see this forest, okay, this is this much in 1973, whereas if you see this area, this has converted into some other area. Okay, so that means this area has reduced, this forest area is reduced. And if you see here from 75 to 83, now this forest area is also converted in some other land use class. Now here we have so much of forest, it has reduced in 1975. If you see in 83, it has reduced much more. Okay, so these kind of change detection related studies in terms of their aerial calculation we can go for. Okay, you see here in 1976 the dense forest was 15.61. Okay, in 1975 it is reduced up to 21 point this percent. Okay, and in 80 in 1983 it was only 88.8 square kilometers. Okay, you see everywhere there is a decrease. Okay, but in agriculture it has increase. So maybe this dense vegetation or sparse vegetation land has been converted into this category of land. Okay, now barren land is also it has decreased here, but it has again increased here in 83. But if you see, this is our main this thing. So the land use, land cover has been changed. So landscape has been changed from maybe dense forest to some extent to agriculture activities. Clear? Then we have this change detection. Dense vegetation has reduced up to 33.58% if you compare, or if you calculate from 1972 to 83. In just 10 years, it has reduced up to 33%. The sparse vegetation, what it was earlier, it has reduced up to 48.2%. This is as per the case study, and they must have some calculations done with reference to the quantification activities in the area. Okay, now this is a forest type status in some other part of the same state. This is land use, land cover map of watershed map of the Manali watershed of the area. So we can also go for the watershed delineation and what are the different land use, land cover classification in that particular area, that we can also go for. Then the vegetation mapping in this Pepara wildlife sanctuary. Okay, so we have these many forest types here in this wildlife sanctuary. Then the again one more wildlife sanctuary. So in this case study they have tried to cover as many as aspects of a forest we can cover. We have seen that they have gone through a vegetation mapping, they have gone to a wildlife sanctuary vegetation mapping. Okay, on the basis of this we can decide ki what kind of activities can be done or what kind of wildlife is there inside these sanctuaries. Okay, then we have the terrain model, we can have an idea about the topography of a particular area based on these analysis. Okay, then the mangrove ecosystem study also being conducted for the same area. The digital mapping of forest can also be done with the help of these kind of studies. Then the vegetation density mapping, where they have used NDVI technique, and the density was sliced on the basis of different three levels, where we have the classification, where we have calculated below 40% may be degraded forest, 40 to 60 may be dense, and more than 60 may be the very dense forest. Okay, then the forest fire disaster was also found in the area. Okay, then forest fire mapping of before and after fire. Now after fire you can see the scars on the forested areas. Okay, so this is the image where you can see the before situation, it is a clear cut forest, but here after the forest fire you can see some patches of fume after fire activities. Okay, then fire active fire detection can also be done based on some data sets of modis or something like that. Then this kind of images can be seen when we go for the active fire detection activities. Okay, so pixel wise brightness values, on the basis of that we can also go for the analysis of burnt area scars. How much area was there under the burn, on the basis of pixel value brightness detection. Obviously wherever there is a burn activities took place, there will be a brighter patches of pixel values. So based on that we can identify, and we can also quantify in the field that yes, whether the scars which we are interpreting on the basis of the brightness status, that they are forest fire burn scars, is it so? So we can check it by going to the ground. Then this is a burnt area analysis was done on the basis of different forest fire demarcation in Rajiv Gandhi National Park, Karnataka also. So this is the image where they have tried to demarcate these burnt areas, which you can easily identify in these images also. Then this is a forest fire risk map where they have tried to categorize the various classes of risk of fire, forest fire incidents in a particular area. Then the forest resource evaluation, we can also go for the forest resource evaluation and surveys, where the checking of reed resources of Kerala was done on the basis of different images or photographs of 1 is to 50,000, maybe on the aerial photographs, reed resource map of 1 is to 25,000, and then the study area, the Ratan survey study, the data used, and these are the things they have taken into consideration for forest reed resources of Kerala. Then the bamboo resource estimation was also done. using the satellite images. Okay, then they have used the classification method, that is supervised classification, which you have studied in your DIP also, that there are two classification techniques. One in which we select the training sets, and based on these training set we try to classify the whole image. And the other one, that is unsupervised classification, where we assign number of classes and then we identify based on the some data sets which are being provided to us. So with the help of supervise, they try to categorize the bamboo resource estimations in the area. Okay, so this is a map where they have come out with the bamboo beds and bamboo mixed forest and bamboo regeneration also. Okay, then the status of bamboo in Kerala, here in the north, or in northeastern part of Kerala, you can find there is a high potential of bamboo, whereas in the areas in pink they have medium potential, and the area in light purple color, this has the low potential, and the area in green, that is having the sparse bamboo distribution. So this is about the that is also being done in by the competitive authorities. Now, mapping the quantitative assessment of geographic distribution and the population status of plant resources in the Western Ghat. Okay, so in Western Ghat, the population status of the plants, that is also being done with the help of different mapping and remote sensing data sets. So this is the things done. These are the different subdivision level maps which for which they have used different sheets. This is a record of that. Okay, then different area density statistics also being done. So this is the main aim of showing you this case study, is to become you familiar with the things, that what kind of studies various organizations are doing as far as the uh, forest applications of GIS are concerned with reference to forestry. So with this, I would like to conclude my talk, where we have, done these forest types as per the classification of Champion and Sate. Then we have also studied various vegetation and forestry related applications, and we have also taken a case study of Kerala, in which many things related to forestry mapping, biodiversity mapping, along with the different characterization of forest species identification, and different species what you can species distribution of these species in Kerala, how that has been done in through this case study we have tried to tell you. So we have completed now the forest mapping using remote sensing and GIS techniques, and what are the different applications which can be applied in terms of the forest and vegetation mapping. So with this, I'm ending my talk, and tomorrow we'll have different forest disaster related, topic which will be taken for tomorrow's class. With this, thank you very much.